Okay, so let me ask you something. What if a community's most sacred stories, its language, its entire history, what if it wasn't stored on some server owned by a giant corporation, but in a space that belonged completely and totally to them? Well, today we're going to dive into a project called Star Nations, which is doing just that, building a brand new digital constellation for Indigenous data.
This quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? A digital campfire in orbit. I mean, think about what a campfire is. It's always been this central place for community, for telling stories, for passing down knowledge from one generation to the next. Now just imagine taking that sacred space and lifting it into the stars, creating a permanent, protected home for a people's most vital information. It's a powerful idea.
But, to really get why this digital campfire is so revolutionary, we have to first understand the problem it's trying to solve. And that's a very modern challenge called data colonialism.
So let's ask a really simple question. Right now, where do a community's stories, its language, its health records, its entire digital identity, where does it all live? For so many Indigenous nations, the answer is on what are called colonial servers. And what that means is their data is sitting on infrastructure that's owned and controlled by outside governments or corporations, often without any real consent or oversight. And you can see how this creates a massive, massive vulnerability. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this comparison shows two completely different ways of seeing the world. The way big tech usually sees it, data is like oil. It's a resource to be drilled for, extracted, and sold off. But Star Nations comes at it from a totally different Indigenous perspective. Data as kin. It's not a commodity. It's a living, breathing part of the community, like a relative that you have to protect and care for.
And all of this leads to one absolutely crucial concept, data sovereignty. And this isn't about asking for permission. It's about asserting an inherent right. It's the right for Indigenous peoples to be the ultimate guardians of their own digital story, to decide for themselves how it's collected, who owns it, and most importantly, how it's used to benefit their own people.
So once you really understand that problem, you can start to see this incredible vision for a new way forward.
So the mission becomes crystal clear. This isn't just about moving files from one computer to another. It's a really profound act of digital self-determination. It is literally about moving this incredibly precious information from a place where it's vulnerable and putting it into the stars, a place that's both technologically secure and, deeply symbolic.
Okay, so how does this amazing vision actually become a reality? Well, the solution is the project we've been talking about, Star Nations. It's the practical, boots on the ground, or I guess satellites in the sky, application of all these powerful ideas, all designed to build that digital campfire.
The whole thing is built on three simple but incredibly powerful pillars. First, the data has to be safe. We're talking top-tier security. Second, it has to be sovereign, owned and governed without question by the Indigenous nations themselves. And finally, and this is so important, it has to be serving. This data isn't just going to sit in a vault somewhere. It's a living resource meant to be used to strengthen language, to improve health, and to empower generations to come.
And that brings us to what might be the most exciting part of all of this. Star Nations isn't just some cool idea to talk about. It's a project that's happening right now, and it's an open invitation for people to help build this new reality.
So this is a question for everyone listening. It doesn't matter if you're a technologist, a policymaker, a community leader, or just an ally who believes in this mission. There's a role for you to play in building this digital campfire. This is a real call for partners who share this vision of a more fair, more sovereign digital future. And so we'll leave you with this direct invitation. Star Nations is actively looking for partners to help build this new constellation. So, if you or your organization feel inspired by this mission to create a space where data is safe, sovereign, and serving its people, you can find out how to get involved by reaching out to the contact you see on your screen. This is a chance to help light that first digital campfire in orbit.